Well, good Friday evening, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster coming back here once again, here to give you guys your evening forecast video for tonight. For your 7-day forecast comes out later on this evening here. As a reminder, on Fridays we will not have our evening forecast out during on Saturday, but they will return as we get towards your Sunday time frame here. Okay, so temperatures right now do not feel like fall. We have temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s here. During the day today, we had temperatures in the 80s. Really warm outside here, guys, and it's only going to get warmer as we get into the weekend and into the early part of next week here. But I do promise that changes are on the way, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that later on in this video. So we've got 82 degrees in Little Rock right now, 82 in Hot Springs, 81 in El Dorado, 82 in Texarkana, 82 in DeQueen, 82 in Fort Smith, 75 degrees now in Fayetteville, 77 over there in Jonesboro, 82 down there in Monticello here. So like I mentioned before, these temperatures are going to be here for a little bit, at least for the weekend, and we can kind of zoom this out and you guys can see what's going on across the area here. So temperatures back out here towards Texas in the upper 80s, low 90s. That will easily move its way into Arkansas as we get towards this weekend as a result of a ridge kind of sitting over the area. So I mentioned this in the post before this video. I can't rule out a 90-degree reading or maybe some areas getting above 90 degrees, especially during the day tomorrow. That's because of the dry ground and the very low humidity really helping with the heating during the day. Now, at night, it's going to feel pretty good. Tomorrow morning, it's going to feel pretty awesome. It's just tomorrow afternoon when that sun really starts to get established across the area. That's when you're going to really feel those temperatures there during the day. You even have some hundreds still back out here towards Southern California and in Arizona here. So summer is trying its best to come back for one last time here before fall really gets itself established across our area. So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about the evening highlights for tonight, and a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. The Halloween time frame, I've been talking to you guys about this over the last couple of days. If you've been paying attention to our evening videos, that we do have that fall cold front that's going to move through. Stormier weather is going to return as we get towards mainly late next week into next weekend. I'm going to show you guys that coming up here in a second. And as I just mentioned before, near 90 degrees this weekend, guys. And keep in mind, we are about to be in late October, and we're still talking about temperatures near 90 degrees here. So hopefully this is probably going to be our last little burst of heat for summer, hopefully. I'm not going to sound a white flag for that until we get to this time next month. But definitely something that we're going to have to watch for tomorrow here, okay? As always, we do have our winter outlook out on our Patreon if you want to go check that out. I want to make this perfectly clear to everybody because I've had people still ask me about this. We're going to have this public for everyone November 1st. I'm normally not the one to try to get this out, in September, early October. I want to wait and see how data is going to look as we get into November, December, January, and February, even potentially March. So just kind of keep that in mind here. I know we're a little bit later than everybody else, but I'd rather be later than jumping aboard earlier on and things change on you guys here. So we want to make sure that you guys get the most accurate winter outlook as you can. So if you want that early access, it's on patreon.com/Arkansas Weather Watchers. If that's not available for you, that's fine. It's going to be November 1st for everybody across the board here. Okay, so let's talk about the burn bans here. There's actually been another county that's been added. I do believe that's going to be Lincoln County that's been added to the burn ban risk for today here. And like I mentioned before, we need the rainfall, folks. I know we only have 5 counties in the burn ban. We definitely need the rain. I mean, we need it badly across Arkansas. And I do believe that will change as we get towards next week. But we definitely need the rainfall across our area here. So Perry, White, Woodruff, Lincoln, and also down to Drew counties here, guys. Those areas are in the burn ban. This is the wildfire risk at this point. Moderate wildfire risk from northwest Arkansas, central, northeast, down to southern Arkansas, and in southeastern Arkansas. I think it was actually in Chico counties down there. They were actually under a special weather statement earlier this afternoon because of the wildfire potential, because of low humidity, the gusty winds. That's what we're talking about, folks. So if you're planning on doing any bonfires, southeast Arkansas, I would not recommend it. If you're in a moderate risk area, just be careful. Just don't leave it unattended or anything like that. Don't do anything crazy. But just keep that in mind. Even if you're not in the burn ban risk, you still want to be careful out there, folks. So Look ahead for tonight here. Temperatures remain the same from the last 2 nights here. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s, maybe some upper 50s possible across the area here with no rainfall chances to talk about. But we do have rainfall chances to talk about as we get into next week here. So let's jump over to the GFS, and I'm going to kind of start you guys off with the total precipitation. And we're going to take this out all the way through over the next, I'd say 60 hours or so plus. You're not really going to see much, but you can see on Tuesday, there's some rain showers being possible across western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, and down in northeast Texas. That will be the starting point for our folks over there in western Arkansas. And then it will gradually make its way into central and into eastern Arkansas as we get towards that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame here, even in Saturday and next weekend. So just kind of keep that in mind here. This is what the GFS, and what the GFS wants to do, we can take this out all the way to 240 hours out. I'm going to stop it right here. This would be very beneficial rainfall for us here in Arkansas. However, if you have any plans next weekend in terms of Halloween plans or any birthday parties or anything like that, you might want to monitor this if you were to go with the GFS, because it suggests that Saturday is pretty much a washout because your front boundary comes through, overrunning precipitation on the boundary. That sounds like a winter weather setup, I know. Way too warm for any winter weather, but it would definitely bring some heavier rainfall to our area. Severe weather right now, just looking at all the data, doesn't look like it's going to be a rather major deal. Keep in mind, we are still a week away, so things can and will change between now and then. But right now, I don't expect severe weather to be a major issue. Flooding, definitely not, because our ground is very, very dry. Unless we get 7, 8, 9 inches of rainfall all at once. But if you get this all in a couple of days span, it's only going to be a heavy rainfall issue versus any kind of severe weather issue at this point. Let's talk about temperatures for just a little bit as well here. Like I mentioned before, if you guys want change, this is going to be it, because a lot of people have been like, oh man, I'm tired of the heat. It needs to be cold already. We've got that coming. It's just this time of the year. Like I mentioned before, once we get into November and in the December time frame, it's more of our transition month. We don't just stay cold all the time or stay hot. It's always that transition point. And I've mentioned this in our fall outlook as well. But there's your cold front that's coming in. This is on Friday, stretching from Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, up into the Missouri region. And that cold front, if you go with the GFS, I'm going to show you the year here in a little bit. You go with the GFS, it swings that cold front through as we get towards late Friday and Saturday. That front boundary kind of hangs on in South Arkansas here. Look at the temperature difference. 76 Eldo, 43 in Fayetteville, with heavy amounts of rainfall ongoing across north central Arkansas on that Saturday. So keep that in mind across the board. Like I mentioned before, it's going to be way too warm for any winter weather. If you see someone talking about winter weather right now, it's likely false information. Just keep that in mind. So we're going to take this front boundary all the way through. And then you can see this is getting towards the Halloween time frame. We'll stop it right here. If you were to go with the GFS, it's going to be a rather chilly Halloween with temperatures in the 40s and low 50s, overnight lows. And I cannot disagree with this. We may have to talk about our frost and freeze potential as we get towards that that Halloween night and into that 1st November as well. So we'll see what the GFS were to if it were to verify or not. But right now, you're past 240 hours out, so things can and will change. Let's take a look at the Euro. The Euro, I don't think it's going to be as beneficial with the rainfall. I mean, this is practically nothing, guys, unless if you're in South Arkansas or you're in northwestern Arkansas here. That's rainfall totals right around 1/4 inch of rainfall. That's not going to do anything here in Arkansas. So the Euro's definitely not on our side here. Let's see what it wants to do with the cold front as we get towards next week here. So definitely chilly. This is a consistent sign that we're going to be chilly over this time frame here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. And you can see this is Saturday once again. Another frontal boundary, same time frame, Saturday. Frontal boundary swings through, temperatures upper 70s, low 80s here. Like I said before, not really too concerned about severe weather right now. We just don't have everything lined up yet. We're going to monitor, and it's about a week out. So let's take this out, and you can see by the time you get towards that Halloween time frame, the 30th, chilly temperatures come back to the state here. So let's go over to the WPC real quick, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over to the CPC coming up here in just a little bit. But let's take this out with the WPC, and you can see heavier amount of rainfall totals across western Arkansas. Central and eastern Arkansas will be the areas that don't see a lot of rainfall with this here. but we'll keep an eye on it because this only goes out to Friday evening at this point here. So let's take this out all the way through. And this is the CPC's outlook here. And right now, I do believe the 6 to 10 day is going to be above normal. What we can do for just a moment, we can switch this over, and you guys can see. So this is the CPC 6 to 10 day, and there it is. Below normal across the northern plains, and then above normal across the eastern and southeastern parts of the country. 8 to 10 days out, I do believe it is going to be about the same. So just kind of keep that in mind. Precipitation definitely above normal across our area here as we get towards late next week and into the weekend. So that's all I got for you guys this evening. As I mentioned before, we'll be back on Sunday with your evening forecast video, and we'll have your 7-day forecast out this evening here. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.